Now, another myth, as again, we're talking about the common myths about personal finance, the question that probably has entered the minds of most folk, especially for parents, should they actually buy life insurance for their kids?
You know, I see that all the time, Renee, and let's talk a little bit about what is life insurance, okay?
Sure.
Life insurance is simply designed to protect against the loss of income. So let's say, for example, you and your spouse rely on each other's income, but you lose your spouse for whatever reason, your spouse passed away unexpectedly. So that income that was coming into the household has to be replaced. And it needs to be replaced for a certain amount of time to give the surviving spouse time to get back stable and back on the ground, make sure the kids can go to college, make sure the house is paid for, and those kind of things. When you think about kids and you think about life insurance, what real loss of income are you protecting against?
Right.
So a lot of people buy life insurance for their children because back in the Depression era, my grandparents started buying life insurance for their kids, and it's just become a tradition. So we just keep doing it. What I recommend is that money that you're spending on premiums for your child's life insurance policy, that's money that you can either be saving or you could be investing for retirement. Now this is normally the part, and I'm certain some of your listeners out there are thinking, but what about burial? I need to be sure I can bury my child if they were to die unexpectedly. The thing is, you can go check this out at most funeral homes. The cost to bury a child is very inexpensive. It's not a several $1,000 price tag like it would be for one of us.
Right.
So what I normally tell people, if you are getting your financial house in order, you should have some kind of a cash reserve saved up. You know, I normally tell people to have anywhere from 3 to 6 months of whatever your income is should be saved in cash in some kind of a liquid account. So if you have your emergency fund socked away,
right,
and something unexpectedly happened to your child, you should be able to pull the cash from that emergency fund to take care of that need. So that should alleviate the need for you to have any type of insurance on your child.
Wow, fantastic. Now what for a parent who obviously may just have a single child, that is one situation, but if you have parents who have several children at one time,
sure,
is there like group insurance actually available for their children, and how exactly does that work?
I'm not certain. I used to sell life insurance, so I should know this, but I think there is a way for you to get everyone on the same policy, some type of a family policy, and obviously you would be able to get a reduced premium because of it. Now, you know, say for example you're a young couple and you've got, I don't know, 4 or 5 kids, and it could be a situation where you don't have any cash saved up, so now you're really exposed if something was to happen to your children. That is a situation where your children may need some burial insurance or some burial coverage, but the thing you want to be focused on and concentrating on is building that cash reserve.
Exactly.
Once you have that cash reserve, then you can remove the insurance and you can continue to save more money for retirement and not paying insurance policies. I mean, think about it with your car insurance. I mean, insurance is designed to protect against the loss of something. So if you lose your car, it's designed to protect against the loss of transportation. So a lot of times we're just throwing this insurance on our children, and there's really no reason for it at all.
Exactly. So for those who are listening to Community Focus and are hearing this information, it's probably, you know, that little light bulb is going off in their heads right now. Probably first thing they want to do, first thing Monday or at some point, really soon, get in contact with their insurance agent and get all the details, all the information.
And look at all of your insurance. I mean, people have various, and you normally have car insurance, you probably have some kind of health insurance.
Right.
A lot of people are now waking up and starting to buy disability insurance. If you don't have disability insurance and if it's not provided through your job, that is something you really want to consider getting.
Exactly. And you have so many companies right now that offer so many different policies.
They do.
That fit all those situations that we've just mentioned.
They do. I mean, some companies provide disability insurance, but if they don't, that's something that I would really consider. Depending on your age, if you've gotten to be, you know, a lot older in age, it's time to maybe consider some long-term care insurance as well. So,
excellent idea. Let's take the insurance myth one step further. Is it for the wealthy?
That's a good one.
That's a common myth.
My grandmother used to say that all the time.
Really?
You know, that insurance were for wealthy people. And that is the complete opposite. Insurance is definitely not for the wealthy. Wealthy people will typically have the ability to do what we call self-insure. They've got so much assets or they've got so much cash. Well, if Joe passed away and Annie needs to replace that income, and Joe had several millions of dollars in assets
Right.
and stock certificates and all these types of things. Well, those can be liquidated to provide that money that Annie would need in the event that Joe unexpectedly passed away.
Right.
So as you get wealthier, the less insurance you need because now you're able to actually self-insure. So what I tell a lot of people, if you're young and you're getting ready to do a financial plan and you're wanting to work towards retirement and build wealth, I always say look at a level term policy, or what we call term insurance. Term insurance is a lot cheaper. It doesn't cost as much, and it's just pure insurance, and it allows you to save more money so you can stick more money in retirement. The idea would be once you become 55 or 60 years old, you would have accumulated enough assets to where you don't need insurance any longer.
Wow. That's amazing. Learning some good stuff from you, as usual.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to mention, speaking of finance, today happens to be the National Day of Service.
That's right.
Where today you're going to be speaking on a panel about the importance of financial literacy. So how appropriate.
I am, and I'm so excited about it because, Renee, you and I talk about it a lot. I mean, 4 out of every 10 Americans are financially illiterate.
Right.
So I almost feel like it's my responsibility to go around and use some of my talent and energy to contribute into the lives of others. So today at the Winston Lake YMCA, the Urban League will be having their National Day of Service. I'm going to be speaking on a panel about financial literacy. And then we're also going to have breakout sessions where people can come one-on-one and learn more about their personal finance. But this isn't just for the adults. We want the kids to come out too because we're going to be talking to them as well. I mean, a lot of times if you can get these kids between 12 and 17, if you can get them thinking more about the right behavior and making the right choices, they too can be financially wealthy. And so bring your kids out. There's going to be a DJ. We're going to have free food. We're going to have cash prizes for the kids. So it's going to be a lot of fun. But, you know, when I just said that, I thought of something. That's the real key point with personal finance. It's really behavior.
Exactly.
So many of us think it's numbers, and we think it's the ability to come up with some really elaborate investment strategy, and you know we all want to know what's the secret on how the rich people do it. You know, and how are they making all this money? You know, but it's no secret. There's really no secret. I work with, you know, at my company, I work with probably some of the most influential real estate developers here in the region, and really what it is, it's hard work, it's focusing, and most importantly, it's behavior. It's the right behavior and making good choices with your money. So.
Because I learned a long time ago, Algenon, number one, you don't have to be a CPA. You don't have to necessarily be a math major. Or major in finances in general. Like you said, it's just having that mindset and the focus to be willing to sit down and do it. And I wanted to say, and you mentioned this earlier, for you, when you put your budget together, the fact that it only takes an hour, that's not a lot of time if you really think about it.
It is. Now, initially, it's going to take you a few hours because you've got to build it from scratch and you really got to pull things together. But once you get in the habit of doing it, once you start doing it consecutively, it's really about an hour investment on a Sunday afternoon is normally when I do it. I'm not married, but for you people that are married out there, it's even more fun because you can sit down it's like a date on Sunday. You can sit down at the kitchen table and you can talk, and don't be afraid to talk about your finances. Don't be afraid to get it out in the open. I know growing up in my household, we didn't never talk about money. It's surprising that I know as much about money today because we never talked about it. And so many families and so many households out there, that's another common myth. They think if they don't talk about it, it goes away, but it just gets worse. So.
And that's another great thing, too. And I like that concept that if you are a married couple, make it kind of like a date night type of event. And especially if you have kids, make it a family event as well.
Exactly.
To get the kids, you know, the sooner they learn about saving that extra dollar. Because one day as they get older, they too may become parents and they can pass it on down to their children.
Exactly. We have two common problems here in America. We overspend and we undersave.
Exactly.
And it doesn't take rocket science or, like you said, calculus or CPA designations to be able to figure that out. We just need to save more and spend a little less.